Tonight, E.T.'s going all night long with Lionel Richie and a career-spanning celebration.
I just happen to love this stuff.
From the Commodores to the king of the charts.
It started out as a joke, honestly.
His 5 decades of hits, heart, and history.
To talk about 40, 50 years, that's crazy.
The stories behind the songs.
I was just acting crazy one night.
And how he united the world's most iconic artists.
We were kids. It's the impossibility that we pulled it off.
Plus, his life beyond the spotlight.
Someone tell him to stop dancing.
With 3 kids, 3 grandkids, and a sense of humor that never quits.
If you have kids, you can only be sexy when you leave home.
This is E.T. Vault Unlocked.
That's never been told before.
Lionel Richie.
We are celebrating all night long. Lionel Richie, one of the best-selling artists of all time, a certified hit maker, and bona fide R&B legend. Welcome to Entertainment Tonight on this Juneteenth holiday.
Not to mention, tomorrow also happens to be Lionel's, that's because I like to call him that.
I know.
Lionel's 76th birthday. E.T. has been with him for every single career milestone, and we have seen firsthand how Lionel is and always will be an American Idol.
We going to party. What's happening? Is my birthday again?
Birthday time!
He's the elder statesman of Idol.
It's a yes. We're not here to judge, we're here to inspire.
But as inspiring as the one-time Commodore is, he sold over 125 million records worldwide, his humility outshines all of it.
I tell it to the kids, if you don't like people bothering you, don't get famous. Because that's what it's going to be for the rest of your life, if you're lucky. I just happen to love this stuff.
Hello. I write about relationships. I'm just saying something very old and very basic. I love you.
And I want to tell you so much. I love you. Easy like Sunday morning, yeah.
You made my song your song.
Let's do it a little easy.
Do you think that you could have succeeded on a show this format?
I would have died 1,000 deaths. When they told the Commodores no for the 90th time, because that's what you hear when you start off, I felt so embarrassed. Can you imagine 8 million people or 10 million people, and you say, I don't think you have the potential? I would faint right in front of you. Are you kidding me? I couldn't have done it.
Truth is, Lionel never expected to find success in the music business, but when his iconic funk group signed their first major deal with Motown in 1972, the brutal grind of their schedule inspired one of his greatest hits.
They gave us a book of 366 pages. 365 of those pages was where we were gonna be for the next year, every day. And you write a song down, a line like, why would anybody put chains on me? I paid my dues to make it. Everybody wants me to be what they want me to be. I'm not happy when I try to fake it. Leave Me Alone was the name of the song.
Why in the world anybody put chains on me?
And then of course I had to change it to something.
To ease
I had something that had to work, so I found this wonderful phrase. Okay, Lionel, can you tell us something besides leave me alone? Okay, let me work that out.
That's never been told before. I want you to know that. I just want to let you know.
I'm sorry. I can take that out of my book. Okay, very good.
Lionel shared many stories with E.T. over the years, but did you know he wasn't always the Commodore's frontman? He was originally the sax player.
It started out as a joke, honestly. I was in college. I was looking at my accounting grades, my marketing grades, and I said, I can see down the line a very boring life, because I don't think this is what I want to do.
The Commodores dropped their debut album, Machine Gun, in 1974, and over the next 8 years created some of the most memorable music in history.
Never would have left the Commodores in a million years. Very traumatic time for me. I wanted to grow. I did a project with Kenny Rogers that was the door opener.
Lady, I'm your knight in shining armor, and I love you.
Kenny turned around and did the greatest thing in life for me. He said, ladies and gentlemen, I can't take all the credit.
It was written and produced by a young man named Lionel Richie of the Commodores.
Immediately, the door was open to people saying, would you write a song for me? The press at that time was extremely vicious because we would do a concert and they wouldn't write about the Commodores. They'd say, Richie, a hit at the Coliseum.
While tensions were rising in the band, Lionel scored his next solo job, a song for the 1981 feature, Endless Love. The duet with Diana Ross ended up being a bigger hit than the film.
It started out as an instrumental. It didn't start out as a vocal. They said, well, we would like to have a lady sing it, and we're going to get Diana Ross. Well, here comes a little bit more pressure.
Lionel officially parted ways with the Commodores in 1982, embarking on his career as a solo artist. And E.T. has been with him for all the hits from the very start.
Hello, is it me you're looking for?
The thing that's wonderful about Hello is that even though I'm popular right now, I was the guy in school, all the girls did not see me. That's a song for all the souls that are wishing and hoping. And that's the song.
Where did you get the idea for dancing on the ceiling?
I was just acting crazy one night. I did hear a guy come out of a disco here in Los Angeles and say, I just finished dancing on the ceiling. That's all I needed to hear for the dancing on the ceiling possibility. The rest of it is called God's Plan.
But perhaps one of the greatest collabs of Lionel's career, 1985's We Are the World, the epic charity single he co-wrote with Michael Jackson and got basically everyone in the music business to record in one night, right after he hosted and won 6 American Music Awards.
You said thinking about this project makes you emotional.
We were kids, if you want to kind of look at it that way. That's a young Springsteen, that's a young Billy Joel, you know, and that was Bob Dylan we were standing next to. It's the impossibility that we pulled it off.
The most non-Lionel release, though? That would be his 2012 country album, Tuskegee, featuring duets with stars like Blake Shelton.
You are the sun, you are the rain.
I was trying to figure out, how do you break into country? You know, what do you do this? Then I realized I don't have to break into country. The songs have already broken. I just have to show up with them. Tim McGraw, Willie Nelson, Jennifer Nettles, Little Big Town, Jason Aldean. It's just great. I'm very happy.
But listen, you don't write that many hits without collecting some serious hardware along the way.
The Grammy goes to truly Lionel Richie.
You have to know it hasn't caught up with me yet. I'm going to go home, and somewhere between now and tomorrow morning, there may be a loud scream in the neighborhood. But, oh, it's a great feeling.
Can't slow down, Lionel Richie.
You know what? I feel so good about this because the climb has been so wonderful.
The 4-time Grammy winner also has 18 American Music Awards to his name, a BET Lifetime Achievement Award, plus in 1986, a Golden Globe and an Oscar for the theme to White Night.
Say you, say me.
Outrageous. In the truest sense of the word. This is great. I'm so blown away. Normally, I'm for words right now, but I have to tell you something. This is strange.
I used to leave the Grammys and the Golden Globe and the Oscar in the bathroom, and everyone says, don't you want to move it downstairs so everyone else can see it? No, I want to see it, because if you know how hard you work to get that bad thing, every morning I would always go in just as a reminder that I'm doing okay, because in this business, you're only as hot as the last record.
But by 1986, Lionel was ready for a break, or a self-imposed exile, as he once described it to the New York Times.
I had a series of tragedies, my father dying, my divorce, and of course my dear friend who died of AIDS. And all these 3 episodes in my life takes a period of time that you have to go through and deal with.
Lionel stepped away from the spotlight and took care of his ailing father for 3 years before he passed away in 1990. The loss pushed Lionel into a deep depression. Just 3 years later, Lionel faced a very public and messy divorce from his first wife, Brenda Harvey. The couple were college sweethearts and adoptive parents to daughter Nicole Richie. They even co-wrote some of Lionel's early hits like You Are.
You are the sun.
In 1986, Lionel confided to E.T. that being a high-profile artist wasn't always easy on a marriage.
I even wake up every morning and look at my wife and I say, I can't believe you're going to try another day. I mean, it's, you know, because the personal sacrifices that she goes through. There are days when she just wants to go out. When we get to the restaurant, don't mean to disturb you, Lionel, but let me tell you a great story about what your song did for me and my husband. And we end up hearing stories all night.
The Richies divorced in 1993 after nearly 18 years of marriage. It was also during this time that Lionel underwent 4 separate surgeries to address issues with his throat. All told, it would be 10 years before Lionel would make his comeback, and E.T. was there when he did.
Times are hard, my spirits are weak. Oh yeah.
They always say great writers come from pain and agony. I hope I don't need pain and agony to make my career work, but it did help with the well of filling up the realistic side of my life. The emotions on this album are very deep, and it really helps out quite a bit to have that well to go to. I don't want to go there again anytime soon.
That was 29 years ago. Flash forward to today, and if you ask Lionel what he's most proud of in his 76 years, he'll tell you.
Well, besides my kids, and the other part of it is just the fact that I made it this far. Think about it. This is not an easy business. So to talk about 40, 50 years, that's crazy. So I've been blessed all the way through and still have great friends. Love you guys, all of you. And fans, love you.
Is it me you're looking for?
Who needs a bust when you've got the real thing? Lionel Richie took part in that hilarious Hello parody with Jimmy Fallon. Now, clearly, Lionel is a natural at comedy, and while music may be his first love, acting was his Hollywood hobby.
Any plans to do movies?
Yes. Now, the question is when. The answer to that is soon. I don't want to fake it my first time around.
That was 1984. Lionel would wait 12 more years for his big screen debut alongside Whitney Houston and Denzel Washington in The Preacher's Wife.
How you doing, sweet thing?
Someone asked me to try out for this part, and I said, you must be kidding me. So Denzel said, try it, see what it's all about. I actually went there. It was fantastic. It worked. Don't ask me how it worked, but it worked.
I believe in you and me.
Lionel continued acting, doing the occasional cameo as himself.
When Lionel and his lady fight, what does Lionel do?
You just tell her, honey, you're right.
Hey, you, beer me.
We were on set with Lionel in 2001 for his appearance on The Young and the Restless.
Here I am on the soaps. How about that? When they call and say, would you consider, the answer is absolutely. Are you kidding me?
But in 2022, we saw a whole other side of Lionel in the Foo Fighters horror comedy, Studio 666.
Hello, Dave.
Lionel!
Sure, he was playing himself again, but who knew he could be so good at poking fun at himself?
We all have writer's block, you know? But that's my song. That's my song. You understand what I'm saying? Get your own song, nerd.
I can't really watch my dad dance. It's just very uncomfortable for me. Someone tell him to stop dancing.
If you have kids, you can only be sexy when you leave home. I have my 15-year-old daughter, Sophie, and Miles Richie, 19, and Nicole Richie. Dad, you're not gonna go out and do that, are you?
He's once, twice, 3 times a dad. Our ET cameras have had a front row seat to the Richie family growing up over the years.
Bring Hercules. I've got my 3 wonderful kids here. Sophia, Miles, Nicole.
Best part of being a dad?
Is being a dad. Is having the kids, honestly, and letting them beat you to death. Nicole's done a great job of that so far.
Now, 43-year-old Nicole was formally adopted when she was 9, but the simple life star didn't have it so simple growing up. Teenage drug use, a 2006 DUI, and concerns over her dramatic weight loss that same year played out in public. but Lionel was always there to support Nicole through it all.
I have parents that are very close to me, and they would have stepped in. I'm always the first one to admit when I have a problem with something, and I did it with drugs. And if there was something wrong, I would do it now.
I've been there with her, and she says, it's the pressure. It's the pressure, and I get it. Because if you think about it, I didn't have 7 cars following me across town with a helicopter overhead. It's a lot to deal with.
They call it, we call it, you call it, I call it love.
He's a happy guy. He's like always smiling and everything. So one time when he got serious with me, I kind of knew like, okay, it's time to.
Dad got serious.
Lionel's fatherly wisdom extends to 31-year-old son Miles and 26-year-old daughter Sophia, who he shares with second ex-wife Diane Alexander.
He is really wise. I go to him about every issue that I've ever had.
You're really close.
Yeah, very close. So I tell him almost everything.
I love spending time with my family because we all work so much and bounce around so much, so it's nice for all of us to come together at one time, and I really appreciate that.
But becoming a granddad is where it's really at for Lionel. He's got 3, Nicole's kids, Harlow and Sparrow, and the newest addition to the family, Sophia's 1-year-old daughter, Eloise.
What are you called? Are you Pop-Pop? Are you Grandpop? Okay.
I'm Pop-Pop. We're gonna get to Grandpa, girl. Yeah, that's a little deep. Yeah, Pop-Pop is where we're going.
And while the proud Pop-Pop is always happy to babysit, he's found his happily ever after with girlfriend Lisa Parigi. The couple's been together for over a decade, and while she's nearly 40 years his junior, the Swiss-born entrepreneur is his perfect match.
She keeps me grounded. It's one of those very special things that happens when you have a relationship where you feel safe. Love is the only answer to everything we're doing.
The man said it with his chest. Lionel dropping that gem when he was honored by the Library of Congress. Wait a minute, let me say that again. The Library of Congress with the Gershwin Prize for Popular Song back in 2022.
He is everywhere, and we're going to leave you now with
the few things you might not know about Mr. Richie.
Take care, y'all.
Night, everybody.
I was scared to death as a youngster. I come off like ta-da in terms of walking out on stage and stuff, but I was basically a shy guy.
He may have been shy, but would you believe Lionel originally had a divine calling?
I was definitely going to be an Episcopal priest until I joined the Commodores. They said, Lionel, there are 2 types of ministers. There are those that preach in the corner churches and those that preach to the masses. I think back on that phrase because it's probably true. It's probably what's happening.
And get this, King Charles is one of his closest buddies. Lionel even performed at the King's coronation celebration.
We've been friends a long time. I've known him a long time. I mean, we do a lot for the Princess Trust, and so by being the chairman of the board of the Princess Trust, I'm happy to be there.
And his secret to staying young?
All I can tell you, it is the greatest thing in the world to eat right. That's all I can tell you. It's just cardiovascular, eat right, and don't let your kids kill you.